Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Constep and this is going to be part 11 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Almohads. And I've reached a point where it seems like the Italians and the Sicilians have backed off a little bit. I don't think they attacked me at all in the last episode, and my navy has been getting a chance to get its feet from underneath them, and they are getting going here a little bit. But I'm having to balance between two different things now. I do obviously want to build my trade empire, and I really want to be making a lot of money. Right now my income is around 922, yeah, so that's okay, but I obviously want more. But I have to balance building a trade empire with also protecting my home territories, of course, because the Italians actually do have some decent sized fleets here. I mean, they have two boats right here, and I also have two boats, but as we've seen in the last couple of episodes, it seems like their fleets are winning the trades for some reason. I don't really know why, because with stats of 1, 1, and 2, and then versus my 1, 1, and 3, you would think that I have an advantage, but I guess not. So I obviously want to outnumber them, at least on my own coastal regions. And yeah, down here I think they have 3 ships. That's my ship. Yeah, they have 3 ships down here in this little fleet. One more right here, then one. Yeah, I'm not too worried about their 1 ship fleets, but yeah, then they have 2 here. So yeah, I'm not gonna try to match them 2 for 2 up here, for example, but you know, I do want to outnumber them at least on the sea regions that do border my territories, just to keep myself safe. But then of course I also want to branch out. See, this is a lot faster when you just kind of spread your ships out. Usually when I'm not too worried about being attacked, I don't double up, at least not in the beginning. I will stretch my ships out, just go 1 for 1 for 1, using all of the sea regions, get as much money as possible, as quickly as possible, and then I will start to double up a couple of regions just to kind of cover my bases and make sure that in the case of a storm or an attack, I can replace that chain, or that broken link in that chain, and keep making money. And but in this case, I'm kind of having to I have to kind of cut the middle, go down the middle with trying to, make money, but also protect my territories. Now, like I said, I have not been attacked in a while, so maybe things are good between us. Us and the Italians might be okay, but, I don't know. I just want to keep, make sure that things are going to be okay. So I'm going to continue to protect my borders here. I am just 1 ship away before I reach the Nile coast, which is going to be very good for me because Egypt, Palestine, and Tripoli are going to be some rich territories I can trade with. And then I'm also one turn away up here from having a boat be in the English Channel, which is going to make me money off Normandy and Flanders. Or not Flanders, but Wessex. So yeah, that's going to be good for me. But then after I get that boat out, I'm going to start focusing on trying to connect my link here by putting a boat on the Spanish coast and then the Gulf of Cadiz as well. So that's going to be really it for my priorities right now. I don't care about Portugal right now. I will focus on them eventually once I can afford to have another army that's not on my borders, because right now I do have a comfortable amount of forces here in Cyrenaica, taking a peek at the Egyptians, just making sure that they don't attack me, and then same thing up here on the borders of Aragon and Navarre, making sure that the French don't attack me either. They do have 3 stacks here in Aquitaine, which is worrisome for sure. It's not good soldiers though. It's pretty much like militia and peasant level. And then they have 2 stacks here in Toulouse. So it is slightly nerve-wracking, but I feel like my troop quality is a little bit better here, so I'm not too worried about it. And I don't want to go too crazy with, building armies here, because I do want to save my money for my fleets, of course. And then when I get a chance, I do want to build that extra stack to take Portugal, and then eventually I can transition it over to guarding my northern border here. So hopefully that comes to bear sooner rather than later, because the French are only at war with the English right now, which is a little bit worrisome. I preferred if they were at war with, say, the Germans, which would be nice to kind of keep them more focused and not on me, because having 3 stacks in Aquitaine, that's literally just for me, because Aquitaine does not border anyone else except me. So that's a little bit worrisome. They have a bishop here in Aragon, which also indicates that they're taking a peek at me. They're spying. And yeah, they want to see if they want to attack Aragon. That's why I have 2.5 stacks here in Aragon and only 2 stacks here in Navarre. So hopefully that will be enough. I really think it is. I mean, their soldiers, it's just really, really crappy. Yeah. Not only is it mostly peasant and militia tier, but it's also very, very devoid of cavalry. They just have their general, which is a Hoblar. And this is just a light cav unit, though. Then how about here in Toulouse? So they do have some more Hoblars in Toulouse. 3 units right there. And another 3. So yeah, 6 units of Hoblars, which is not nothing, but again, the infantry is just mostly peasants. Peasants, yeah. Really not much that I have to be worried about. So I really think that my borders here in Aragon and Navarre are secure. Even if they wanted to bring all 5 of their stacks versus me here in Aragon, I think I could win that. I think I could. My swordsman, and I'm just going to start calling my Almohad Urban Militia swordsman from here on out, because they're the only swordsman I'm ever going to use, I think. There is another unit that is available. Let's see if I can find... Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if I... Can I train it anywhere? It's called the Arab Swordsman. And I don't know if I have a province available yet to where I can train them. Yeah, I guess not. Okay. Well, there is Arab Swordsman. It's a unit that was actually added when the Viking expansion came out because Creative Assembly realized that there was a void of early Tier 1 swordsmen in the Muslim rosters. Now, that probably was true for the Egyptians and the Turks, but that's not true for the Almohads because they do have access to the Almohads Urban Militia from turn 1, which is a superior swordsman in every way. The Arab Swordsman is a decent swords unit. It's cheap, and it's okay, you know, for being a Tier 1 unit, but the Almohad Urban Militia is, you know, much better. You do pay for it. I think it's like 300 to train, I believe. Where can I train these guys? Only costs 200, okay. But I think that the Arab Swordsman is 125, if my memory serves. So yeah, it's a good cheap unit, but you know, I might as well use the Almohad Urban Militia while I can. So from now on, I'm just going to say swordsman, and you'll know that I'm referring to my Almohad Urban Militia, because yeah, that's the weapon that they use, and I'm going to be doing that for a few other units as well when I'm playing this game. Like for my javelin men, these guys, my see, this is why my Murabitan infantry. I'm just going to say javelin men. That's easier for me to say. And you'll know that I'm talking about these guys. So I think that's just going to be easier going forward. For a few units, I will denote the specific units that I'm referring to. But yeah, just let me know if you know, if you want me to be more specific, and I'll try to let you know. But I want to try to make this easier for me to comment on it or commentate on this as well. So yeah, going forward, I think that for now, as I was saying, it's just gonna be boats, just boats, and boats. So I'm gonna be flying through some turns pretty quickly here, and obviously I will be editing out as much of this as I can. I do want to get an episode worth of content here, but yeah, this is probably gonna be a long episode for me to record, but then hopefully I have enough for you to watch as well. But I just want to get boats in the oceans, and hopefully the French don't attack me, because I do not want to be at war right now with anyone. I just want money. That's all I care about is money. And then eventually I can start working on my military infrastructure, and I can take out Portugal, and, all should be good. So in the meantime, boats, and then, yeah, goddamn, like no one wants to be my friend. So I'm going to keep trying to be friends with the Turks, the Egyptians, and the French. Just, I'm just going to keep trying. I've been moving along here quite nicely until then my Prince Yusuf has picked up the trait Blackmailer, and this is not a good one. He's been caught blackmailing a senior official and fined a large sum. He is most unhappy about this and seeks revenge. -3 loyalty, so where's he at? 1 loyalty. This man is likely to be the cause of many of your problems, both at home and abroad. Remove him, and you will probably solve many of your rebellion difficulties. And yeah, Prince Yusuf is in charge of a stack, so that's a little worrisome. I mean, he is in the same province as my king, so something that I'm not 100% on to make sure that a general, like a low loyalty general, does not rebel. Does he have to be in the same stack as your king, or the same province as the king? I believe it's the same province, because when a civil war happens, it's province by province. It's not like 2 different stacks within the same province will fight for different sides in a civil war, correct? I don't think so, but just to be extra safe, how about I put him in my king's stack, just to just to make sure that this works out. Yeah, he's 28 too, so he has he's gonna be around for a while. What else does he have? 4 commands. Yeah, and he's just blackmailer. That's all he has. Yikes! 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 Yeah, that's a bad one. I thought blackmailer was only -1 for some reason, but yeah, that's a bad one. In other news, though, my fleets are coming along for sure. So I'm making what almost 2 grand right now. So that's coming along quite nicely, and I do have at least 2 ships in quite a few of my provinces bordering my own provinces, or I mean my sea provinces bordering my own provinces. I have 3 ships here just because the Italians also have 3 ships, and yeah, I'm just trying to match to the other factions where I can. But this is going along quite nicely here, so I can start moving more ships up the coast. And once I'm here in the North Sea, I think there's 2 more provinces I can trade with. Yeah, Northumbria and Friesland as well. Each have a port, so that's going to be nice for me. And yeah, I can just keep moving on into the Norwegian Sea, and then Skagerrak, and then the Baltic Sea. Baltic Sea is going to be really good because there's 3 ports here. Yeah, that's going to be very, very nice. And then down here on this end, I do have my ship here on the Nile coast, making me quite a bit of money. And since I do have my sea provinces connected now from this area down all the way down to this area, everyone's going to be making money now. Leon's going to be making money, you know, all the way to the Nile coast. Same with Castile. And yeah, same with like Cordoba. They're going to be trading all the way up north as well. So this is going pretty well for me so far. No attacks, but yeah, there's four French priests hanging out here in Aragon, so that's a little bit concerning. But still, if I take a look at their army, still nothing that I really have to worry about. Nothing has changed in this regard, so just gonna keep an eye on it. And still no alliances. The French still don't want to be my friends, and same thing with the Turks and the Egyptians. No one really wants to be my friend. So, you know, I guess I'll just keep trying over and over and over again. Now that my economy is looking pretty dang good here, sitting at almost 2,500 a year, and yeah, my treasury is up to 4 grand, so that's not bad. And I'm starting to think now's the time. Let's go get a dockyard so I can start building the Bagalas, which is my tier 2 ship. And as I was saying before, it is deep sea worthy, so it can go in these deep sea areas like the Atlantic Ocean and the Western Mediterranean. I think there's another one as well. I think it's up here, perhaps, the North Atlantic as well. And that's going to be able to bridge my sea provinces using fewer ships. It's also going to be a very, I mean, the Bagla is a good fighting ship as well, and that's going to be important because unlike the Mediterranean-based Catholic factions, like the Sicilians and the Italians, that will use a lot of galleys, which is like a weaker ship than my dhows. The French are starting to build ships as well, and they are not weaker than my dhows. They are stronger than my dhows. The Caravel is 1 attack, 2 defense, and 3 speed, whereas, you know, I'm sitting at 1, 1, and 3. So these ships can beat me for sure. And if the French do want to start a war with me, which it does seem like they're looking that way, they're going to be able to beat me 1-for-1 on the ocean. And so I want to make sure I can get some boats on the water so that I can make sure that I can defend myself. Because yeah, the French have a boat here in the Gulf of Valencia and a few boats up here as well. So yeah, let's get some Baglas going. So let's get this dockyard going here in Cordoba. It's going to cost 600 florins. So maybe just do 1 for now. It is really tempting to go all in though. And just do a bunch of those. Yeah, that's tempting, but I'm gonna kind of play it modestly for now and just do one dockyard. Ouch, this one hurts. Storm at sea and I lost a dhow on the Nile coast. That was making me a lot of money. The good news is, okay, so the King of France died. Alright, that's always fun. And yeah, it looks like I'm still not getting any alliances with the French. That's, yeah, that is. So I'm going to just move this boat down from the Eastern Mediterranean down to the Nile coast so I continue making that money. Because right now I can't even make money off of here without that chain going. So yeah, it's just, yeah, it's tough losing a boat, but that's how it works. And that's why it's important to, you know, I like to have as many provinces or as many sea provinces with 2 boats as possible. Ooh, actually, yeah, that works. So now we can just maintain that connection there. Yeah, that's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay there. Sweet. And I couldn't help myself. I did start building a dockyard in Algeria as well as Cordoba. So I will have 2 provinces that can build baglas in 5 more turns. So how are we looking? I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about my situation along my coastline, I feel like. For now, things are looking pretty decent. So yeah, let's just go all out with putting all of my ships as far abroad as possible. I have already been doing that up here in the north because I'm not too concerned with these factions. Although, like I was saying before, ooh, there is a couple of Italian boats up here. But yeah, as I was saying before, I do want baglas to be able to fight up against the French caravels if it comes to that. But I feel like, yeah, out here it's going nicely, and I do like this. I really love that boats allow you to scout other regions. It's really, really cool. It's a cool thing. And it's actually a lot deeper than what you'd think, because where's an example? So, I'm trying to find a good example here. So yeah, up here, for example, I can have vision on the English province of Mercia. I can see what units are in this army. I can take a look at the king and check out his stuff as if I have a scout inside of, this province. But in areas where there's a French fleet here, I can't scout this French territory. I can't see what buildings are here. There's no armies here, but where's another example? Like the Italians too. If I wanted to look at the Italian province of Genoa, I think this is right here, yeah. And I can't see what buildings are here, and I can't see what's in this castle as far as units are concerned, because there's Italian boats here, essentially blocking my ships from scouting their province. It's really, really neat, because even though we're not at war with each other, you can still stop scouting attempts by enemy fleets just by having boats protecting your shoreline. It's really cool. I really, really like it. So, yeah, that's a neat one for sure. Now the Germans want to be my allies, and somehow they're at war with the Turks and the Egyptians. How are they at war with those 2 factions? Is it through the Navy? I have not seen any boats for the Turks or the Egyptians, or the Germans for that matter, and I'm not aware of any land borders that... How are they at war with the Egyptians and the Turks? I'm so confused. Because the Byzantines still exist. They're not gone. And neither are the Poles or the Hungarians. All of those factions are supposed to be between the Turks and the Egyptians and the Germans. So I'm very, very curious how those 3 factions are at war with each other. I'm going to turn down the Germans, but I'm just super curious. Oh, sweet. And the Turks are now my friends. Sweet. Yes, they finally accepted an alliance. Awesome. Awesome. Sounds good. And, let's see. Always drunk and chivalrous. Okay. Yeah, it's, always fun. And here we go. Homelands achieved. 14 points for my homelands, plus another point achieved for conquest, I believe. I was looking at this right before I pressed enter. And yeah, I'm sitting at 47 points, and I'm far, far ahead of everyone else right now. So that feels pretty good. My closest competitors are the Germans and the Italians at 39 apiece. And then other than that, yeah, the Turks actually have 36. Okay, yeah, good for them. Good for them. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what's happening here. I mean, it looks like the Turks and the Egyptians are doing well. The Turks have pushed up to here, so the Byzantines... How are they at war? Because the Germans, like, I don't know how far east they start. Do they start off with Austria? I'm not sure. Obviously, Hungary has Hungary. And then... This starts off as, like, rebel, I think. And then the Byzantines are here. So, like... What's going on? Huh. Fascinating. It has to be a naval thing. There must be boats in the ocean, and I can't see them. But they wouldn't, like, if the Egyptians had boats, then I would be able to see them. And as we saw with the Italians and the Sicilians, naval conflict ends as soon as there's, like, no boats in the same provinces or something like that. So So there must be a land dispute going on between the Germans and the Turks and the Egyptians, right? Interesting stuff. Yeah, I love having navies being able to scout. I love seeing it. So because I can see the Sicilians have taken Naples, that looks really cool. I can't see what they have yet. Well, yeah, actually, I can't see what they have because they have this huge navy here. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I was saying before, the Mediterranean Catholic factions can build these galleys and these dromons, which are good cheap trade ships, really fast, so they can escape conflict really easily. But they can also build caravels as well. I mean, not caravels, but barks, which is the first. That's the tier 1 Catholic boat. And I was saying caravel before. They're not caravels. They're barks, right? Yeah. That's a good, decent combat boat. More expensive, I believe. Does it say here? Support cost is 40. Support cost for the dromon is 30. And then 40 for the galley. But I believe the galley is the cheapest to build. I think that's 500, and then I think the dromons cost 600, and the bark I believe costs 700 to build. It's expensive, but it's worth it. It's a good boat for sure. Speaking of good boats, I think I'm just 2 turns away from being able to build my baglas here in Cordoba and Algeria. So I'm getting there. It's coming along. It is coming along, and I'm feeling pretty good about my navies right now. They reach pretty far. I'm not quite to the Baltic Sea, but I'm just 1 boat away from getting there. And I'm still working on getting around this side of the world as well. So things are coming along here. How's my treasury looking? Or my income, should I say? Yeah, 2,600. Not bad. Not bad at all. And yeah, once I have a boat in every sea region, now I can start building like these upgraded merchant buildings. They cost 1,000 a piece, which is a lot, but they will add a percentage to increase to my trade income, which is going to be very nice as well. And here is the Bagala. The Bagala has the same basic design as a dhow, but it carries a catapult. This can be used to throw pots of Greek fire, an incendiary mixture of chemicals, at enemy ships. Pirates also use the Bagala, but with rock missiles as they lack access to Greek fire. Interesting. So yeah, as you can see, range is deep sea. Support cost is only 12, which seems very cheap to me, I think. I need to look at the Dow support cost to compare it. And then attack of 2, defense of 2, and speed of 2, strength 0. Strength is interesting. Do the other boats have a strength stat? I didn't even notice that. Let's take a peek real quick. Okay, so did I never notice this before? Huh. Interesting. Strength of 0. I wonder... Yeah, I don't know how I never noticed that stat before. Okay, and support costs. Yeah, so it's a lower support cost than the Dows. So it's gonna cost 200 more florins to build, but once it's in the water, it's gonna be cheaper to maintain. Sweet, yeah, awesome, perfect. So I'm just gonna finish building this 1 Dow here in Algeria, and then I will completely switch over to Baglas here. And then same thing in, actually Cordoba didn't even start building a Dow here, so I can just cancel all of those, start building Baglas right away. And then I think I'm just going to switch completely over to Baglas, because that support cost, that cheap support cost is very, very nice. And of course having a capable attack boat as well is nice. I will keep building Dows here in Tunisia, because it does give that +1 Valor bonus to Dows. So that does seem good, but other than that, Baglas seems like the way to go, so... Yeah, I'm getting there. My fleets are in most of the waters. There's a few more regions that still need to be, still need a little presence. This is going to be very good for me once I have some boats in the Adriatic Ocean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ports. Oh my goodness. That is going to be so much money. It's going to be nice. Very, very nice. And it'll be nice to get to the Black Sea as well, because it's 2 ports up here, but also it's going to be nice to have vision on all of these territories, which is going to be really cool. And yeah, the Turks have taken Constantinople from the Byzantines. So the Byzantines are really, really not doing well. They're getting their butts kicked. So, cool stuff, yeah. Go Muslims. Sweet. That feels good. I'm a little bit worried that there's going to be a war between the Egyptians and the Turks, because the Egyptians are cut off here. I've never seen this before. I've never seen... usually I see the Turks do well, and then they get pushed back eventually. So, I wonder if the Turks will be able to hold on here. It doesn't seem like they have really strong armies, to be honest, but somehow they're getting the job done, and I actually did see for a moment why the Germans are at war with the Turks, and that's because there is a crusade on its way. Now, I don't have vision on it right now. I just saw it during an end turn. And I wonder what its target is. Because most of the crusade objectives are going to be in Turkish lands. Like it's going to be Antioch or Tripoli or Palestine or Odessa. And I don't know what Turkish-held province would be a crusade objective, to be honest. Actually, do the Turks have Odessa? I think, yeah, maybe it is Odessa. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Let me double check this. Yeah, so they're at war with the Egyptians and the Turks. Interesting. And the Catholics can't have more than one crusade going on at one time, I believe. And that is different from the Muslims because they can have different, like a bunch of different jihads going on at the same time. But that's not the case with crusades and with the Catholics. So, yeah, interesting. Cool stuff. Yeah. I love being able to see what's going on in the world. Yeah, the Danes are up here. They've just taken Sweden, and that's all they have. Poor Danes. They always just kind of hang out in Denmark and Sweden, and that's it. Because the rebels in Norway are actually really strong. Like Vikings are a good unit, and there's a lot of them. There's 6 Vikings up here in Norway. That's just going to be rebel held forever. That's never going to be taken. And the Danes are just going to they're just going to stay poor forever because they can't, take Norway and build up their lands, which is unfortunate. It really is. Speaking of unfortunate, man, the English getting their ass kicked by the French every single time. It's just too bad. Yeah, really a shock. And yeah, speaking of really a shock, I mean, the fact that the French are still only at war with the English, and it's the year 1152, is worrisome. It is worrisome. Now, there's been no moves made, so they're not going after me yet. So, knock on wood. Hopefully that remains the same. And the Sicilian fleet, this is ridiculous Sicilian fleet. It's insane. Like, this thing is built for war. They could be building a trade fleet, but no. They have 8 boats in one fleet, and what is it going to do? What's the point of that? Oh dear, I don't know. Because they're not using it for trade, Yeah, it's crazy. They could be like, linking their territories to, because Naples has trade resources. They have silk and olive oil. And I don't know about Sicily. Yeah, they have trade resources as well. So if they wanted to use this fleet to actually branch their territories to other ports, they could make more money. But right now, they're just paying all of this upkeep on something that, what's going to happen? Even if they wanted to go to war with me and, every other boat in the ocean, it's not going to achieve anything if you're not making money. So, yeah, it's a curious thing. I'm not too worried as much as I am just curious. So, in any case, things are still going pretty good. I'm making $2,500 a year. My treasury is sitting at almost 10 grand. So, yeah, I guess, maybe it is time for me to start actually building up my tier 2 merchant buildings. They cost 1,000 a piece, but you know what? Let's just get going on it. May as well. And check out Khalifa Ibrahim II, getting up there in age. This guy is a boss. 66, man, I was starting to worry that kings just always died at the age of 57 in this game. And I didn't think that was true, but man, it really seemed like a lot of them were dying in their 50s. So it's nice to see that some of them can still get up there in age. Good for you, man. Good for you. Now, typically I would be worried that your eldest son is 57 and unmarried, meaning that, who knows if he's going to have sons on the way. But I've kind of given up on pretending like I understand how the whole family tree thing works. From what I know, this could be a brother to the king, for all I know. It doesn't keep track of that for me. So, technically, I mean, when you look at it, it says that, like, when my heirs become of age, it says that my king has 6 sons. But I don't really know if that's the case, because if my eldest is 57 and my king is 66, and then my king, yeah, that doesn't. Unless he was like having kids when he was like you know, before he became of age. Which maybe that happens in the game. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of gave up. On trying to understand that. I thought I did, and then I don't. So it does seem like it does keep brothers along, at least for some time, so that you can have a backup heir in case there's no sons ready. But it's going to be interesting to see. So Prince Muhammad and then there's Prince Abdullah are the two eldest. But then is it going to be them, or would it be someone else that becomes the heir? Because I feel like I've seen that. I feel like I've seen it skip the oldest and then it goes to someone else, which to me means that the eldest must have been brothers, as I would assume so. And then it's going to the son, which again is not denoted here at all. That's just what I'm going off of. So we will see if it's these two, Muhammad or Abdullah, or if it is in fact someone like Umar or perhaps Ismail or Yusuf. So yeah, we will see. So if it's not Muhammad or Abdullah, yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. And in any case, my king is not dead yet, so I'll just have to try to remember that going forward. And this is not what I wanted to see. The Italians have swept in here and taken Portugal. Oh man, I had that one coming. I was asking for that one. Yep. I was dragging my feet. I should have built an army. I should have taken it. And yeah, now I have to go to war with the Italians. It sucks because they just asked me for an alliance and I accepted it because I was like, yeah, I don't want to go to war with the Italians. And now I'm like, yeah, no. You don't get to have Portugal. No. That's not how this is gonna work. So yeah, it does suck. It does, but I mean, the silver lining is this. As I was saying before, the Italians are my closest rival when it comes to my glorious achievements points. And they're also my closest rival when it comes to sea power. I mean, not counting the Sicilians. So, I suppose, you know, I should go to war with them just to kind of knock them down a peg, destroy some of their boats, take back Portugal, kill their armies, and try to put them in a position where they're kind of knocked back a bit. So, it's not the worst thing, you know, going to war with an ally. It's annoying because I'm going to lose some influence from my king by breaking an alliance, but it's worth it for Portugal. I'm not losing Portugal. Like I know I've been dragging my feet, but they have wax, they have olive oil. I want that. They also have salt, so I can build a mine there for salt. It's, you know, there's some money to be made there, and I don't want to just have Italy sitting on my borders here because right now I don't have any armies in any of these provinces because, you know, I was bordering a rebel province and now I'm bordering the frickin' Italians. Oh dear. Okay, so I need to build up like 2 stacks as quickly as possible to put here in Cordoba and Leon to defend. Yeah, this is my freaking capital. Like I don't want to lose this to the Italians. So fortunately, these armies are not good. Just some Royal Knights and some basically militia level units. The Genoese sailors are, you know, decent archers. And then urban militia and militia sergeants. So they just have some pole arms and that's pretty much it. So yeah, two units of Royal Knights. One of them being an heir. So this is one of the sons, Prince Vital. And yeah, holy moly. Like just 7 acumen. Crazy stuff. 4 command. Natural leader, so +2 morale. Yeah, he's good. He's good. His army's going to fight hard. And I just noticed that some of his men do have armor upgrades as well, so that is going to help them out. But I mean, my armies are just better, so I need to definitely focus on getting that going again, for sure, because yeah, it's tough. I'm building Bagalas in Cordoba, and Cordoba is one of my prime production centers, so yeah, bad timing, Italians, bad timing. But you know, that one's on me. I should have been getting ready for this. So in Granada, I need to start building a town guard so I can train Almohad urban militia here. And then Morocco, I can train a lot of soldiers here. So I'm just gonna start pumping out Nubian spearmen just to get them ready. And Let's see, probably get some more Saharan Cav here in Cyrenacia. And anything else I can start training like right away in regions that can't train boats. Some more Javelin Men. Yeah, may as well. And then in Navarre, I may as well start building some military buildings that are going to allow me to build more soldiers. So, if I build a Spearmaker's Workshop here, I can start training Muwahid foot soldiers, which is a good spearman unit. It's kind of a weird spearman unit because it doesn't come with 100 soldiers like most spear units. This is only going to have 60 men in it, which is still fine. But it's not going to be like a frontline take a charge kind of unit. It's going to be more of a flanking spear unit, which is going to be more suited to assisting cav engagements because it's going to have really high attack, or really high charge and high morale, which again is kind of interesting for a spear unit. It's a cool unit, it really is. I like using them, but they're kind of weird. Honestly, though, it's not a bad bet just to go for that. Muwahid foot soldiers, yeah. I could get archers. Ghazi infantry are cool too, but I need to build a mosque for those. So I might just go with Spearmaker's Workshop right now, just because that's going to be the fastest way for me to get more units going. Yeah. Yep, let's do that. Let's do a Spearmaker's Workshop here in Navarre, and eventually I can get an armorer here as well, which is going to be very nice. So yeah, definitely dragging my feet on this. I should have probably, started doing this already. I did start building my tier 2 merchant buildings in pretty much every province that does have tradable resources. And I did start building some keeps in a few provinces as well, such as Morocco. And I think somewhere else, Valencia is building a keep as well. So I am working on those tier 2 castles, which is going to be nice. But yeah, hopefully the Italians don't just straight on attack me. Hopefully they focus on this garrison here in Portugal first. They have to, right? They have to. They wouldn't just start attacking me right away. But yeah, this castle's only going to last for 2 turns, which is unfortunate. Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. I wonder if I should bring some armies from my northern frontiers and bring them straight to these territories, like right now. Yikes, I don't know. Because I feel like that's inviting a war from the French. I feel like if I take men off of these territories, there will be an invasion from the French. Yeah, that's a tough call. There's another option of bringing soldiers from Cyrenacia, because I have to imagine, like, the Egyptians have just been hanging out here forever, and I feel like they're kind of stuck, but they do have a lot of Ghulam Cav here now. Yeah, damn, they actually have 5 units of Ghulam cavalry between these 2 armies. Yeah, that's a little worrisome. So I do want to keep these armies here to make sure I can beat those. In fact, I might want to bring more units. This is fine for now. I have Javelin Men and I have Spearmen, so that should be fine. But I definitely don't want to bring these units from Cyrenacia to Cordoba and Leon. So yeah, that's going to be tough. This boat is going to be finished here in Cordoba after this turn, so I can start moving my production to, say, my swordsman right away. And then, is there any other provinces where I can do that? What else can I train in Leon? Nothing. Castile. I can train archers in Castile, so I might start doing that there. And Aragon. What can I train in Aragon? Nothing too crazy. Yeah, damn. Damn. Okay, well, let's just go with what we have, and let's hope the Italians don't attack me right away once they've taken out the Portuguese. It is, like I said, 2 turns before... Yeah, I have 2 turns, so we'll see what I can get done in 2 turns. Okay, what's this now? There's been a battle here, and I did win the battle. I sunk an enemy ship. Did the Italians actually attack me? I do not know. So the Pope has died. Interesting. Respected Islamic scholar. This is Averroes. So yeah, this is just going to give... reduces Azil in both Christian and Islamic Spain. And treaty cancelled. So who am I at war with? I'm at war with the Germans. What? Huh. So the Prince of Novgorod, the Russians, has ended their friendship with me. And then same thing with the Hungarians, and same thing with the Polish, same thing with the Italians. Okay. Damn. Okay, wow. Interesting. Why did the Germans attack me? What? What's going on? That is so bizarre. So I'm at war with the Germans. Huh. And my only ally are the Turks, because the frickin' Egyptians won't be my friend. Wow, interesting. Interesting. My goodness. This is crazy too. So it looks like the Byzantines are basically stuck here in Khazar, which, there actually is some resources up here. There's honey. Huh, cool. I didn't even know that. So there is resources in Khazar, but yeah, they have Khazar, they have Crimea, Bulgaria, and Greece. And, there is some money to be made in these provinces, but the fact that these provinces are separated from each other, and they also have these islands down here as well. Yeah, they're kind of screwed, I think, which is really cool. I'm kind of glad. I'm so happy to see some factions actually beat the Byzantines, or it looks like they're going to beat the Byzantines. It's too soon to tell, but I guess we will find out. It looks like they're going to beat them, though. The Byzantines don't have much. But the armies here in the Crimea and Khazar seem strong, so I'm surprised that they're not attacking Georgia here. Yeah, interesting. Cool. Cool stuff. But the Germans are at war with me, and that has ended my alliance with the Italians. That's a double-edged sword, because on one hand, it's going to make it so the Italians, if they start a war with me, they're not going to be losing influence, which gives them more incentive to start a war with me. So that's that. But then on the other hand, if I start a war with them, then I don't lose that influence as well. So that's good too. But that's the thing, like, going negative or losing influence on a 68-year-old king isn't the end of the world, because, he's going to be dead soon. Yeah, interesting. My goodness. So I need to really get soldiers up here as fast as possible. And yeah, I'm getting some spearmen here in Morocco, but I need to like go here. This is not time to mess around. So yeah, hopefully the Italians don't mess with me right away. It's going to be interesting. I'm tempted in a way to kind of start the naval war against them right away, just to kind of destroy their fleets. That way they can't reinforce their armies here in Portugal. But I don't really want to jump the gun on this one, because I don't have anything to defend Cordoba or Leon. Yeah, so I'm going to just really hope that they don't attack me, and that I actually do have some time to get these provinces ready to defend myself. At least I do have castles and, garrisons. Of course, they're just peasant garrisons, but they are at least something that will give me a little bit of time to hold the Italians in place if they decide to attack me, and I can use that time to bring reinforcements to try to stall them and, bring them down. So that's going to be coming up in the next episode, a little mini war with the Italians before I can hopefully get a ceasefire quickly. But that is all going to have to wait until next time. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and thank you very much for watching. I've been Constep, and this has been Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.